Hello everybody, it's Lucas Mackintosh here and I'm back with some more Perfect Dark for the Nintendo 64. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out one of my retro Let's Play videos, I really appreciate it. If you are indeed enjoying my content and would like to see more, then why not hit that subscribe button, because what it means for you lovely people is you'll be instantly subscribed to my channel and notified every time I upload a new video, and I've got new content coming each and every single week. Okay, so last time I managed to do the Pelagic 2 level. It wasn't actually that difficult. There was a succession of guards that I had to kill in orange dungarees. I also managed to shut down the GPS, rescue Elvis, shut down the power and escape with my life. And now I'm on the next level, which I believe is called is it Deep Sea Exploration? Or deep sea something. Deep sea Nullify threat. Okay, so I guess we're going underwater for the next mission. Okay, so let's see what we have to do. Okay, we need to reactivate the teleportals, disable the Cetan mega weapon, secure control room and escape from the Cetan ship. Okay, so there is a cutscene coming up. I will join you after that where we will crack on with the mission. See you in a bit, guys.
This doesn't seem normal. No one's around.
No signs of conflict, no spent ammo cases or bullet holes.
But there ought to be a rear guard at least. It makes no sense.
There has to be someone further inside. Cover me.
Okay guys, here we go. I should mention that this is commentary I'm doing after the gameplay. Normally I do the commentary live, but this level was such a bugger to do. It actually turned out to be easier than I thought. It took me about an hour to do. I made a few mistakes and stuff, so I thought I'd just make this kind of a two-parter and show you guys where I went wrong several times, and then me actually completing the mission in the second part. So I hope you don't mind if this is a little bit long-winded, but I kind of thought, you know what, it's best to show off the mistakes so that if you guys are following this as a let's play, or if you guys want to indeed do this for yourself, then you'll kind of know what to avoid. So the first thing you kind of want to do, I would say, is you want to use Elvis as much as possible on the first half of the level. It's basically he will kill the enemies for you. He seems to be quite indestructible most of the time, because the weapon that he has is quite powerful. It's an alien weapon and it can take enemies out pretty quickly. So what I kind of tended to do, and you will see this happen kind of a little bit later on, is I kind of back off and I let Elvis do all the work. Of course you do have to return the favour later on in the level and kind of protect him. I just want to say thank you so much for deciding to spend your time with me and to watch this video. I really appreciate it, and thank you to all my lovely comments, views and subscriptions as well. Keep them coming, and let me know what you think of Perfect Dark in general. Do you think it's as good as GoldenEye, or do you think GoldenEye is better? That's the question I'm kind of posing for you guys now. You can kind of let me know on Twitter, or you can just leave a comment and I'll reply to you. Personally, it's a tough one for me, because although some people might say they're quite similar, I would agree with that to a point, but whereas Perfect Dark uses the GoldenEye engine, it kind of goes off in its own sort of little direction, and there's lots of things about this that makes it kind of unrecognisable to GoldenEye. Sometimes I forget that I'm playing the game that has the same game engine as GoldenEye, so this is quite an innovative game. And however, having said that, I don't want to contradict myself, but when you're protecting Elvis, when you're protecting Elvis, it does kind of feel a little bit like you're protecting Natalia, you know, except it's much easier. So it's kind of, I think, Rare's nod and wink to that. bit, to be honest. As you can see, that's one example of leaving Elvis to do the dirty work for you. And also, you can see I'm using the IR scanner as well. Very, very useful, because a lot of the enemies tend to use cloaking devices, and it took me a while to actually work out how many enemies were actually doing that. So it took me several attempts. So having literally just done this, I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a really long, well, not a massive long video, but I just want to have something where, you know, you guys can see me fail a few times and then see me succeed in the end. I kind of tend to do a lot of editing where I'll just show you guys that I'm completing the mission, and it doesn't seem to be any problem. So I thought it'd be nice just to show off. Basically, if you've never done a Let's Play, or you're curious about doing a Let's Play, be interesting to see sort of the footage leading up to that, and kind of what I kind of go through when I make my videos. So typically, what I'll usually do is I will try to do it live if I can, but there are occasions where I will have to concentrate, and sometimes I'll either stumble over my words, I'll swear, which I kind of don't like doing, even though I swear quite a lot, and yeah, things will go wrong quite quickly. So in that instance, I will just kind of film the gameplay first and kind of do the commentary after, really. Also, there's times when I'm not happy with the commentary that I've done, so there will be times when I've literally just done a Let's Play, I've done the commentary, or I've just felt that either I don't sound enthusiastic, or my voice just doesn't sound right. I might be too loud, I might be talking too fast. I've always got to remember to kind of soften my voice because of the range of the microphone, things like that. So I thought it'd be nice for you guys to kind of get a sense of what it's like for me behind the scenes. So I think the first portion for me literally is just setting up my equipment and making sure that everything's kind of running correctly, because I've had occasions where I plugged everything in, I've not really checked it, and then I found that the gameplay skips ahead of the sound and vice versa, so I have to match the sound to the gameplay at the exact point where it was lost. Little things like that, so many things can go wrong. But having said that, 9 times out of 10 I don't really have that many problems. I mean, I use the Elgato HD. It's got a composite connection on it. It's absolutely probably the best capture device I've ever used, and I will be using that forevermore. You know, I've no desire to change because it's such a nice, easy program. As I said, I don't have that many technical problems. When I do, they're easily fixable anyway, and it's not like it's a big deal, because most of the time I save my game anyway, and if I have to do a little bit again because the equipment has messed up, then I will do. So, you know, that's kind of how I do it. So yeah, and I'm also kind of learning the levels. You see, I'm shooting these little lantern type things. What they are actually doing is they're opening passageways in this alien-esque corridor. It reminds you a lot of Alien Trilogy, to be honest. So yeah, and this level's quite tense. It is quite short as well. I was quite surprised that even though I'm going to stuff up quite a few times, I'm so proud of when you guys see me actually complete this level. You will see how beautifully things just go together. It's one of those occasions where everything just comes together really nice. I went to do this level on Sunday night, and I spent about the same amount of time as I've spent here on it, about an hour trying to figure it out, and I could not work it out. And the thing about this game is, basically, I think it's easy to make it hard for yourself on this game. It's easy to think that the game's harder than it is, because when the bit come up where I had to protect Elvis, I started to panic, because all I could think about was Natalia from GoldenEye, because that is like forever burned into my retina, because I did that. It took me months to crack the control level, so I was really worried that the same thing would have to apply to Elvis, but luckily it's not really that bad. You stand at a certain point when he's working on the monitor, and you just shoot right and left. You just shoot. I think the Skeedar are totally random. They're little baby Skeedars, and Elvis is vulnerable, so you just shoot them, and then Elvis will grab his weapon, and then you'll be pretty much set. once that happens. So this is the teleportal room. So you've got some pelagic 2 guards, you've got a Mr. Blonde guarding it. So we'll take them out. Once they're all taken care of, Elvis will activate the teleportals, as you can see. So get used to this, because you're going to be seeing it a few times during this 2, maybe even 3-part video. So yeah, I just wanted to do something a bit different. I mean, I could edit this down and you could see me do the level, you know, but I kind of wanted to do the same as my GoldenEye Let's Plays, because when I got a little bit higher up, I see lots of great videos on YouTube, so many talented gamers and players, and they do the level really easily, and it's so cool to watch how flawless their execution is and make literally no mistakes. But I thought, you know what, I want to do video or 2 videos, or maybe even 3, where what leads up to that. So how a Let's Play kind of, I suppose, like a gamer would practice. So you kind of learn with this game, particularly, you kind of learn from your mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, and it's amazing how much knowledge you actually pick up. So as you can see from the beginning of this video, I actually learned that Elvis, you want to use him as much as possible, because he will get you out of sticky situations. You will actually save a ton of health by doing that. He's really useful, and I think he's very funny as well. See that? He just takes care of them, no problem. And that's something I didn't even consider, so that's why I was getting kind of killed during my previous attempts. So I suppose to some, bear with me, sorry about that, I had to clear my throat. I suppose to some people this level, even on Special Agent, seems pretty easy, and to be fair, it probably is, but I think it's easy to mess up. You cannot let Elvis get killed. That's the one thing, you have to protect him. If you shoot Elvis, he will die, so don't accidentally shoot him. My throat is just playing up, because there's a bit coming up where you have to follow him into a teleportal, and then you've got to kind of protect him and destroy the guards until you get to the main sort of room, and that's when the Skeedar comes. But you need to run ahead of Elvis, like right now, and take care of the guards. So you don't want to sort of stay with Elvis, just get ahead of him, shoot all the guards in the way. And I think that's what makes this level hard, because it's hard to know what you're supposed to do. You think that because Elvis is so small, the enemies wouldn't kind of bother with him, sort of Odd Job style. In GoldenEye, it'd be hard to hit, but trust me, he's not. So this level, this is the bit that really annoys me, because it's like, see that's my first mistake. I wasn't quick enough, and that's the thing, I should have got ahead of Elvis a little bit more. So if I'd have got ahead of him, then I would have been able to shoot the 2 guards straight away. And then it's kind of like memorising the route as well. You have to kind of know where you're going and stuff, and Elvis kind of changes direction a little bit during that, and you have to know which room he's going to go in. It's always the same room each time, but he doesn't take the route that you'd expect him to take. That's the thing. And again, the idea is just to get ahead, shoot all the guards in the path until you get the control room. So that was mistake number 1. So I'm going to try and that was mistake number 2. See that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to get too trigger happy, because you'll end up hitting Elvis. So don't do that, whatever you do. Okay, I'm not having a good time now. My throat, for whatever reason, my throat's decided to be sore. So please bear with me if my throat goes a bit funny. I've been doing my vocal exercises today, so I probably strained it. So I kind of do vocal exercises to strengthen my voice when I'm doing Let's Plays. Even though I can't really sing that well, I kind of like to try to sing. So I do a lot of work on my voice and my pronunciation to make sure I'm pronouncing things properly, so that my voice can be as clear as possible. So that's a great thing about YouTube. There's loads of great singing tutorials or voice exercise tutorials on. You know, I love it. It's such a valuable resource, not just for uploading videos, but I was having this discussion with someone the other day. YouTube's fantastic because it's shared knowledge, basically. Everyone's sharing their knowledge and everyone can learn from each other. That's what I believe. And having this IR scanner, I think it was directly influenced by Metal Gear Solid. That's what I'm thinking, because it seems pretty similar, to be honest. But that's not a bad thing. As I said, people learning from each other, there's nothing wrong with that. Lots of games kind of, you know, rip off each other in a good way, you know. They do a nod and a wink. Stuff like that, you know. Okay, so I'm going to keep this IR scanner on. I'm going to go through here. These buggers. See, if you're lucky, you can kind of take them out very quickly, but they just keep running up and down. So I might as well let Elvis deal with this. Oh my god, he's still alive. Can you believe it? I just can't shoot this guy. They just keep running back and forth. They're really hard to hit as well, these guys. It's close with the cloaking device. There you are. So that's why Elvis is essential on this part of the level. Okay, good. Right. There is also a hidden shield on this stage as well, which I will pick up in a later part of the video. If not this part, the next part, so I'll show you where that is. There's also a chance to pick up a proximity mine if you're quick enough from one of the guards. There you go. I want to give you guys another tip as well. Now, when you go for the teleportal portal, Elvis will give you a weapon. Now, I wouldn't recommend using it because it does one shot at a time. So basically, when you're trying to protect Elvis, you need to, I think, as many shots as possible. So you want the CMP 150 personally. Elvis's weapon, I mean, yeah, one shot's really effective and one shot will probably kill everything, but if the auto aim decides to mess up and there's a shield, and then, you know, you're buggered because you can only fire one shot at a time. I think it needs to charge up, so I need something with rapid fire. So I would recommend the CMP 150 when you're trying to protect Elvis. It's just reliable and you can't go wrong, really. Now here's this bit again. So see that? I'm learning from my mistakes. I'm ducking into a corner and I'm letting Elvis deal with it. Has he got it? I think he has. Lovely stuff. Oh my god. So yeah, I've been trying to get videos up as much as I can. I have No Mercy up. I did some hardcore championship videos last week. I will be doing some more once I've done this. As I said, I've just got to add commentary to this. I'm still working on my Sonic 2 review. I have done more work on it. I'm literally how far am I? I'm just explaining the endings now. So I've got to type everything up, and then once I've typed everything up, what I want to say, then I've got to do the voiceover, and then I've got to put the video footage together. So that's going to take a while, but it's going to be a labour of love, as I said. I can't wait to have it done. I just love making videos. I mean, it sounds a bit, I don't know, sad to say this, but if nobody watches my videos, it doesn't really faze me. I mean, the idea that I'm creating something, I mean, obviously I'd love people to watch my videos and I'd love people to subscribe, but it's kind of like, I just love the idea of creating content and uploading it, and it's a lot of fun to me, the whole creative process, you know. But I'd never want to be one of those YouTubers who'd be like, oh my god, you must subscribe to my channel, you must watch my videos, or you must do that. You don't have to do anything, you know. I leave it up to you guys if you want to watch my videos, and I hope you enjoy them. I mean, the main thing is I do it is for fun, really, and you know, and that's what I love about YouTube and retro gaming. It's like a million people can play the same game, and they'd all have their own different take on the game. And how they would play it and stuff, and that's why I love watching sort of let's players and stuff, because as I said, we can all learn from each other. Yeah, there's lots of great let's players on YouTube, lots of very underrated ones as well, I think. You know, it's the ones who take the time to show off their skill and pull up those videos. I mean, many's the time I've got stuck and I've watched another video on YouTube and it's been really helpful, and I've always put a thank you. I've always said thank you to that person, because that person, whether they realise it or not, has helped me get through a tough section of a game. You know, so it's like, it's just recognising that, really. You know, so if someone's done that, that's good. You know. But as I said, you know, another thing as well, I never get frustrated if somebody's further ahead in a game than me. I'm never frustrated, because it's like, you know, everybody's different, everyone learns in a different way, everybody is going to get there at their own pace. I think, you know, if it's a tough game, and everybody kind of processes information differently, and I find that fascinating when people play games, because some people just, I tell you one example of this. When I was younger, I used to be really good at like Mario Brothers 2. I mean, in retrospect, once you know about the gambling, the slot machines, you can rack up loads of lives. Once you know that trick, then you can rack up lots of lives. But anyway, it was like there were some dangerous parts in the level, like that people would be really worried about, and it's almost like I didn't have that awareness of the danger, or I wasn't that intimidated. And because I didn't have that awareness, even though it probably would have killed me, for some reason I didn't see what other people saw. I was able to find a different way through. One example of that is when I had the boss battle with Wart when I was a kid, and it was like I'd actually use warps to get through Mario Brothers 2 when I was a kid. I have since completed it legitimately on my channel, and feel free to check that out on my playlist as well, and also my review of the game. But anyway, Wart, I mean, he's so dangerous. He's chucking out vegetables, and it's so intimidating. And it's like, I thought, you know what? Why don't I just get behind him and just chuck the vegetable? So that's exactly what I did, and it worked, because there's a glitch where you can literally get him from behind. And I used the princess and just float behind him, because I just felt safer doing that, and it worked as well. So it's like, I just seem to have a different kind of method. You know, obviously there are some dangers in some games nowadays you just can't avoid, but you know, back then, I think if you could see a chink in the game's armour, then you'd be alright. So yeah, I kind of, yeah, it's kind of how I play the game. I've learned not to like be so gung-ho in games, because my general rule was, in every video game I play, shoot it till it dies. I'd be like blasting. I did win many tricky boss battles by doing that philosophy, but I am learning that sometimes that won't always work. You do have to stick and move a little bit. You know, there is some strategy that you need to adopt if you want to get through some tough games. So, and the funny thing is, I think, come to think, Perfect Dark is taking me a long time, because it's such a long game. So normally if this was any other game, I'd probably have finished it quite quickly, but it's taken me a long time because, you know, normally I would do one every day, but because I'm so busy, I can't always make videos every day. So it's also playing through the levels, making sure that I know the level and stuff like that. Right, so we finally made it to this room. Now this is the room with Elvis, where we have to disable the seat and mega weapon. Now the thing is, there are Skeedar heading towards Elvis, basically, and they're going to come from certain parts, so I'm probably going to make a mistake here, I think, possibly. I hope not, but let's see. Alright, I think I'm in the wrong position, I don't know. So there's Elvis, so Elvis is going to be there. So the Skeedar don't come until Elvis starts to activate the machine. Now, I know I'm going to make a mistake here, because basically I don't realise, because of my this awareness that I have, or unawareness, I kind of think that the Skeeter are just going to come from that position. I don't even see that there's another one of those that they're going to come from. So my thought was, oh, they're going to come from just that one, but no, they are random, but they generally tend to come from this one or the left one. See, that's a mistake, that's another mistake. So basically I need to swivel back and forth, and there's no way of completing the mission now, so it's a case of just, okay, made a mistake, how can I learn from that? So I'm going to learn from that, and I'm going to try and adapt, basically. I said the Skeeter pattern is random, but you just got to swivel left and right. Look at that, it's telling me to abort the mission, you know, but that's what you got to do. And I think some missions in this game are just so frustrating. It's hard not to get wound up, it's hard not to get sort of angry, but you just got to say, okay, I messed up, I'm going to try again. There we go. Right, so this is attempt number 3 or 4 or something, so you know, I thought it'd be an interesting experiment to show you guys what I go through basically as a Let's Player. And this is it, it's fun as well. I've got to keep reminding myself that what I'm doing is fun. It shouldn't be a chore. Even though I have to edit the videos and upload them, I really don't mind that. I actually find that exciting. I even don't mind the insane upload times that YouTube has, because it's like, basically, if you're making a video and you add to that video, for example, if I was to upload this as it was, like not full screen, it would probably take about, I don't know, let's say half an hour to 40 minutes, maybe less than that. Now, because I've full screened it, and because I'm adding this commentary over it as we speak, and I'm adjusted the volume, so I don't have to render that video, and then because the video is so large, I don't have to split it up. So even when I split it up, it's going to be like over an hour for each part, because YouTube's actually got to, it's reading all the variables you put into the video. So the more you put into the video, the longer it's going to take to upload. It's the same with my reviews, because they tend to be quite long ones, 40 minutes or more, and there's so much packed into them, they can take hours. But I don't mind that, because it's just like, it's the price you pay for making videos, I suppose. You know, I think generally as a YouTuber, you kind of get used to it anyway. You get used to sort of waiting at all hours in the night for your video to upload or whenever. I find it exciting, to be honest, because all I can think about is like, oh my god, when this 6 hours is up, I'll have this video and it'll be, it'll be uploaded and stuff. And I find that exciting. So generally, I will say, if you've got a video and you're feeling a little bit, oh my god, it's going to take hours, just stick a film on, or just go away and do something else, and then come back to it. So I think it's about being adaptable, really. That's another tip I would say. And also some advice I should myself live by is check your videos before you upload it. That's something I never do. I kind of just think, oh, it'll be fine, and then there'll be like something will be out of frame or out of sync, and I'm like, oh my god, I've got to take it down, I've got to check it again. So, but then again, little things happen, mistakes happen. I don't think anything's 100%, can't get the words out, 100% perfect, personally. So yeah. So as you can see, I've learnt from my past attempts with this game, or this level, what to do. So it's like you fail, and I think you learn a lot from your failures in this game. And I think that's a life lesson, really, for anything that you do in life. If you keep trying, eventually you will succeed. It's the law of the universe. You have to fail sometimes in order to in order to succeed. I mean, it's easy for me to say this, but I apply it to gaming all the time, particularly with GoldenEye. I mean, like, all those videos took hours and hours to do, and I did not want... I got to a point with that game where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, because it was killing me every day just to try and crack a level. But, you know, I mean, there are better YouTubers out there and better gamers out there, but I was like, oh my god, I've really got to knuckle down and try and understand. But I just kept at it, and eventually I managed to creep through. I just managed to do it somehow, you know. So that's the thing, keep trying, never give up, and just